If you enter the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland by road or rail from the south, the first city in this big new land is Bulawayo. Originally the home of a savage African king, Bulawayo has, in the 70 years since the country's first encounter with European civilization, reached a maturity which elsewhere has grown slowly over the centuries. Nearby, the rugged grandeur of the Matopos Hills form a majestic setting for a burial ground dedicated to those who pioneered a wild country and have deserved special honors of their countrymen. If you choose to go east towards the mountainous border country, you will come first to the Great Zimbabwe Ruins, a few miles from Fort Victoria. The origin of these ruins is still the subject of much controversy, and they attract visits from the most distinguished scientists, anxious to lend their knowledge to a solution of the mystery. For most visitors, they are steeped in a romantic order of gold and slaves, in contrast to the modern communications by which they are approached. The graceful birchen-up bridge towers over the Sabi River, now a gentle stream, but sometimes a raging giant. The road leads us up out of the low veld towards the foothills of the Chimanimani Mountains, the great range that seals off Rhodesia from Portuguese Mozambique. These gaunt hills have been made a national park, a sanctuary for rare birds and plants. The Chimanimani rise to 8,000 feet, so only the young and vigorous can explore the little-known peaks and crags. Others are content to enjoy their beauty from villages in the foothills. Though many people take this way into the Federation, others prefer to take the shortest route to its most famous attraction, the Victoria Falls. Their way north takes them via the Wankie National Park, the first of Rhodesia's many game sanctuaries. Here, thousands of visitors and holidaymakers come every year, staying overnight in one of the rest camps before setting out to watch the many different types of game. It is dangerous, indeed it's forbidden, to get out of the car. Lions, elephants and buffaloes must be respected, and in any case they can all be seen and photographed from the safety of the car. The animals know that they are safe from human interference and drink freely from man-made water holes, ignoring the grandstand built to give visitors a better view. There are other places where the herds can be watched as they come down to drink, but you must stay quiet, for a sudden noise will send the game stampeding into the safety of the bush. Elephants, there are about 3,000 of them in the park, are the lords of this particular world. Even Baby Jumbo seems to realize this. From Wankie, it's only a short run to the Victoria Falls, which tourists from all over the world come to see and admire. The falls are magnificent and awesome in their beauty. Words cannot describe the fascination of this wonder of the world. When David Livingstone discovered them, he exclaimed, "Scenes so lovely must have been gazed upon by angels in their flight." The oldest township in northern Rhodesia and once its capital. Now the town is famous for its museum, which bears the names of Rhodesia's two greatest men. The museum does more than gather inanimate objects. It displays living art as well. To the north of Livingstone lies the Kafue National Park, one of the largest game sanctuaries in southern Africa. Its 8,000 square miles embrace a long stretch of the Kafue River, which abounds with crocodile and hippo. Goma camp in the southern sector is the center of another area where nature and game are left undisturbed. Leaving the game park, our route takes us through several northern Rhodesian towns. Lusaka, the capital, is growing apace with fine modern buildings in the new style. Further north is the copper belt, whose mines have made it the second largest copper producing area in the world. From the copper belt, the road leads us into the northern province, a country of big rivers and lovely lakes. They are far from the main centers of population, but some lakes, such as Banguiulu, have developed a fishing industry which supplies thousands of tons of food every year to the industrial areas. In the heart of the northern province, close to Kasama, are the Chishimba Falls, a miniature Victoria Falls. The never-ending rush of water made these falls in the olden days the scene of regular sacrifices to the rain gods. Still further, on the extreme northern tip of the Federation lies Lake Tanganyika. From the Rhodesian port of Mpulungu, a passenger steamer plies 300 miles up the lake to Kigoma. Lake Tanganyika is one of the deepest as well as one of the loveliest lakes in Africa. The Colombo Falls drop 740 feet to the lake. These are the second highest falls in all Africa, and the deep dark gorge is always a swirling haze of spray. There are many other falls in the northern province, and none more lovely than the Kundalila, the Cooing Dove Falls. We leave the far north now and cross to the eastern province, famous for its game-watching camps. Here, in the Luangwa Valley, the visitor is not restricted to his motor car, but is allowed to walk about and get as close to the game as he can, with an armed guard always in charge just in case an elephant or a lion gets a little too frisky. If you weren't fit to start with, you soon will be after walking several miles every day. And it all seems worthwhile just to get a sight of a herd of elephant or a dainty antelope wandering quietly in the shade. The camps are within a few paces of the Luangwa River, and when you are tired of walking, the hippos seem always ready to put on a show. It's only a short run from the Luangwa across the border into Nyasaland, the land of the lake. Here in this land, which has been described as darkest Africa in fairest mood, all roads lead to the lake. Nkata Bay is one of the beauty spots of the 350-mile-long lake, and fishing is one of the main occupations. If you can swim, this is as good a way as any, but all the usual methods are practiced too. Dhows of Arab design move gracefully over the water and add a romantic touch to the scene, in contrast with the busy tugs taking cargoes to the many small ports. Craft such as these once carried savage warriors and miserable slaves. Now their passengers are voluntary. Within the Federation, the shores of Lake Nyasa take the place of the seaside for many holidaymakers. Its quiet beaches have all the attractions of the seaside resorts. While their parents are busy with fishing line or sailing dinghy, the children are happy and safe on the gently sloping beaches. there's more than just holiday making on Lake Nyasa. Monkey Bay is the headquarters of the fleet of lake steamers, cargo vessels on which the life of the lakeshore settlements depend, and passenger ships to carry people all around the lake. At this southern end of the lake, fishing is still the main occupation. Indeed, fishing is at its best here, and chambo, the lake bream, is fished commercially on a large scale. Nowadays, it finds its way by refrigerated truck or by air to breakfast tables hundreds of miles away. At Palm Beach, too, the holiday makers seldom fail to bring home their own dinners. Well, half the fun of being on the water is that it's such a short distance into it. As the bright daylight fades and the twilight deepens, the lakeshore takes on an almost unbelievable beauty, right until the last ray has gone. 90 miles away on the slopes of Zomba Mountain is the capital of Nyasaland. Zomba's government house and its legislative buildings are mostly old by Central African standards, but they fit into the picture. For its inhabitants, a drive up the side of the mountain brings them to the coolness of the plateau, where cold mountain streams are stocked with trout. From the plateau, there are distant views of lovely scenery. Across the flat Colombe plain, the massive block of Mount Mulanje can be seen, towering 10,000 feet above sea level. Girdling the foot of Mulanje, fed by heavy rainfall, are the evergreen tea plantations which provide Nyasaland's most valuable export. The commercial hub of Nyasaland is Blantyre, named after David Livingstone's birthplace in Scotland. This is the last stopping place for visitors on their way south to Salisbury. It's a busy and colourful centre, and its market a never-ending source of interest to visitor and local shopper alike. The road back to Rhodesia passes through Portuguese Mozambique and crosses the great Zambezi River at Tet, an ancient Portuguese town. And so to Salisbury, capital both of southern Rhodesia and the Federation. Set on a high, cool plateau about 5,000 feet above sea level, Salisbury has grown at an almost fantastic pace, and today has about £1 million worth of new buildings going up every month. From Salisbury, it's an easy run to the eastern districts, where yet another pattern in this land of many moods is made by the Vumba Mountains. Even here in the high mountains there is sunshine and warmth, and they form another holiday ground for the people of the Federation. A little to the north are the rolling hills and valleys of Inyanga, famous for its scenery, its wealth of brilliantly flowering plants, and its trout fishing. The fishing here is strictly controlled and maintained for sport only. If you want a trout for lunch, you can catch it yourself, but the good ones get away here just like everywhere else. While father fishes, the young find their own pleasure. Some like a boat on the lake, Others like to wander far afield, perhaps to the Pungwe Gorge, where they can climb the steep hillsides and look down at the clouds below. And down in the gorge, the river runs like a shining ribbon, the falls seeming as though painted on a backdrop of green. Here in this land of rugged mountains, with world's view stretching away into the distant haze, we end our tour around the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland, where the vast continent of Africa is seen at its fairest and best.